Here to tell us about her life-changing story at 39 when she hit rock bottom and how she overcame it is fashion entrepreneur Tomi Rotimi. But first, let's take a quick look at this video.
It was about turning 39 that felt like a wake-up call. Everything was going crazy. My business was at the brink of bankruptcy and I felt tired and overweight. So I made a desperate decision and set 2 new goals. The first was for my body, to go down 2 dress sizes. The next was for my business, Xckamations, to survive an economic recession. Now at 44, my business and I are undeniably stronger and healthier. I achieved both goals. I applied the insights from my weight loss journey to my business, and I learned many new lessons along the way. In this book, I will walk you through my life-changing journey in fitness and business. I hope that these lessons will inspire you to develop healthy habits that will help you shrink your waistline, grow your bottom line, and become fit and focused.
Beautiful, Tomi. Welcome to the morning show, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's
really good
morning.
to be here.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Thank you. Well, Tomi, I have to say,
Right.
it's such an eye-catching name for a book,
Yeah.
and I love it. Fat transfer from waistline to bottom line. I'll just have I'll hold up a copy just so our viewers can see what it looks like. And so, when you look at that descriptor there,
Right.
the book obviously discusses lessons learned from your personal fitness
Right.
and business journey.
Right.
What inspired you to join both of those journeys in the one book?
Right. Well, they're both my passions, to be honest. I've been an entrepreneur all my life. My very first business was at the age of 10. And I got to a point, the rock bottom point, where I had to take control of my life. Like everybody, I think we've all been on a weight loss journey all our lives. I think the moment you turn 13, you start thinking of looking your best. And so I'd always been ambitious about business and also about fitness. And when I decided to start documenting my fitness journey at that point, I decided, you know what? I'm going to be 40 in a year and I'm going to take control of this thing once and for all. I'm going to do it right. No to crash diets and quick fixes, lifestyle change, all of that.
We can see a before and after picture
Yeah,
here.
there you go.
That's your after on the left and your
Yes.
before on the right-hand
Yes.
side. How long did it
Well
take you to
done.
get from picture A to picture B? Well, your before and your after.
Right. Well, it took 1 year, to be honest, 1 year to get to my weight loss goal, and then several years just to kick those, kind of institutionalize those habits.
Yes.
And to keep the weight off. So to make it a lifestyle, we're still on that journey. That never ends.
Right.
So for me, because I was also at a point in my business where, I was trying to get things going steady there, and I was also simultaneously working on can we move the fat from this point to that point?
I like that.
Yeah.
Move the fat where it matters. Fat
Okay,
from
so
the
it's
waistline.
a
To the
quick
bottom
fix.
line.
Right.
I get you.
A quick fix. What is the fastest way to get to where you are at this point?
I'm
in
not
this
preaching
book?
fastest way. I'm not about
You're
that.
not, okay.
Not at all.
So it
has to be a
it's whole
lifestyle.
process.
Yes.
Right.
It's slow and steady. It's painful.
Yes.
It takes its good time.
Right.
I'm happy
And-
you mentioned pain, actually, because one of
Right.
your chapters is talking
Right.
about pushing through the pain.
Right.
And that's obviously a case when you're exercising, doing
Yeah.
one more set or another rep at the end
Absolutely.
of, what's been quite a tedious process. But
Yeah.
when you link that to business, I'm sure
Right.
it's almost similar,
Oh, yeah.
pushing through the pain. So
Oh, yeah.
in terms of business, can you give us an example of you pushing through that pain?
Oh, yeah, my goodness. I think it's even so much so in business because, I talk in the book about how you're not your own boss. It's a myth. And in embracing that notion of, look, I'm not working for myself, I'm working for everybody else. You're dealing with staff, you're dealing with competition, you're dealing with disappointments, supply issues, and even just being a Nigerian entrepreneur, that's a whole other show. But it is uncomfortable. You will experience discomfort, you will experience disappointment, and those are painful.
Yeah.
Well, you have to push through it if you really want to, be an entrepreneur in the true sense. You have to, embrace that.
Well done. Well, let's talk about your main passion, which is fashion, right?
Yeah.
You've been doing this for over a decade now,
Right.
almost a decade, really.
Almost 2 decades.
Yes, and you started this ready-to-wear online course that you're helping a lot of, upcoming fashion entrepreneurs to. But walk us through that whole program.
Oh, the online course?
Yes.
Okay, for me, I feel like I started business at a point where entrepreneurship wasn't trendy. I had to figure out a lot of things myself, particularly within this industry. Ready-to-wear wasn't something that people were accustomed to. The whole made-to-measure thing was the only thing that fashion had to offer. So working myself through everything it took to get me to that point, I almost felt obligated to help the next person coming along. And thankfully, we got to a point where people were beginning to embrace the idea of online learning. It's the next frontier for learning. And I'm passionate about teaching. I'm passionate about empowering. And so I decided, you know what? How can I reach more people? I don't really have the time for the one-on-ones all the time. But if I can put this together, bottle it up, and package it, and people can access my experience and learn from it, for me, it was a win-win. I get to help people, and I also get to establish myself as an authority in the industry.
And can you share some of your success stories? I mean, we would love to know.
My first big thing was really several starting lines, but first thing was leaving banking to start the business of fashion. That was a big thing. But my next big thing was actually transitioning to ready-to-wear, because, like I said, it didn't exist. So for me, it was just a commonsensical thing. Look, I can't keep on getting myself in this kind of stress mode all the time just to sell clothes. How can I have these things available for people just walk in and buy like we do anytime we travel? So being successful at that, transitioning to that, having the first set of people walk in and see the ready-to-wear collection, buy off the rack, put it on, and just have the experience.
Yes, I am talking more of the online course.
The online course,
who would you say was a designer who you could say, I'm so proud of this one designer who's learned from my online course?
Absolutely, I have so many of them. I have a lady, I won't mention names, I don't want to get their names wrong, but I had a lady who was at the verge of ending her business, quitting. She was at the verge. And, we had a trailer for the course as well, and she watched it and said it felt as if I was speaking to her. It felt like that was her story, like my story was her story. So she took a chance and then took the course. And she said from the moment she got to maybe like the model 4, she just shut down her business and said, you know what, I'm starting from scratch. Now I know better. And she did, and she said she made 3 times her income from the previous year at year end. That was just, and since then she had been preaching the gospel of my course. And I have several, that was priceless. And several other women as well who, I had a woman who was in her 60s and said she had been in the business of fashion all her life, but she had only done it bespoke, fabric, the whole, and then she stumbled on the course, and she said for her, she wished she had taken this course earlier because she learned so much, and she started her business from scratch, and things were working. So stories like that, priceless.
It means so much, right?
It warms my heart.
I mean, looking at the Xckamations website, I see that you offer your garments in different prices in Naira and also in the US dollar. And I know that I'd imagine that us escaping the pandemic year of 2020, still being very much in the throes, e-commerce has become a lot more important than ever.
Absolutely.
So, how do you think that, using the internet has propelled your business?
Oh, wow. I can't even begin to put money on that. At the beginning of the pandemic, I would say at least 80% of our business was from the UK and the US. And that's because the digital age provides access now. I tease that we are all international businesses now. All of us, you have a phone, you're an international business. So it helped me to connect, and it also stretches the life of your designs. You're not just selling to this small niche group. You can take the same piece, you can reinterpret it, repackage it for another market. And that's something that we do quite well at Xckamations. So I'm grateful for the digital age, for the internet, and it's only getting better now. You know, and I'm grateful for the generation coming behind me that they have this platform. Because when we started, it was literally knocking from door to door. You know, the best you could do was have an advert in a magazine, and that could only reach so many people. Right. So the internet, it has really given us access.
Yeah.
It really has.
Looking at the fashion industry here in Nigeria and the climb here, would you say that ready to go is a better form of making money in the fashion industry as opposed to like bespoke or couture?
Right.
What would be your advice for upcoming designers?
I would say start where you can. You know, I don't want to put pressure on anybody to do what may not be feasible. The most important thing with any business, and particularly with ours, is to start. So one can be the stepping stone to another. You know, if you start with bespoke because that's what you can, because it is cheaper to start with bespoke. And then that can, you know, lead you to creating a ready-to-wear line, because now you have the intelligence. And you can also work backwards. You could start with a ready-to-wear line, and then you have a premium offer with bespoke. So there's no one way. But definitely when it comes to scaling, it only, you know, makes sense that ready-to-wear helps you do that a little bit easier, because then you can create a collection, you know, a range of designs across sizes, across colors. You can almost predict what the customer would buy, you know, and be able to create solutions around that research. So it empowers you to do more with your design. Is what ready-to-wear does. You don't just make this one lovely dress for this one person and then that's the end of that.
Yes.
You know, that one dress, yes. You know, even.
There are things. You know, we are running out of time, but I did want to, I'm going to try and ask you two questions in one.
Yes.
You know, since we are talking about fashion and entrepreneurship, we know that, you know, you talked about, in one of your chapters, you talked about ditching labels.
Right.
And that just made me think of sustainable fashion.
Right.
And so before I let you answer, I know that your other book, 18 Lessons from 18 Years in Business,
Yes.
how is the information in that book different from this one? And then, again, what are your thoughts on sustainable fashion as quick as you can?
Okay, sustainable fashion is our future, you know, so it's one thing to make beautiful clothes that everybody can wear and look pretty. It's another thing to make, to have a business that has a conscience, because we live within this, the bigger world, you know, so it's something we all have to embrace, no doubt, you know, irrespective of where you play in fashion. And regarding my 18 years, it's completely different, because 18 years was really just nuggets regarding my business, you know, short nuggets regarding what, just as it says, secrets. This one tells a lot more of my story. You know, it's a little more relatable. And I do a little bit more with this than I did with 18 Secrets. So, you know,
They're different?
Yeah, they're quite different.
Lovely.
Thank you so much. We've enjoyed our time with you today, and I wish you good luck. I'm going to go online to check out your ready-to-wear course.
It's really nice stuff.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
Tomi,
much.
Rotimi, thank you very much for your time here.
Thank you for having me.